clearly, any comment that could be interpreted as encouraging Galamsey would be unfortunate. And clearly, you said that the gentleman retracted. That means he's saying, I didn't speak well. It would have been best if he had gone on then to offer a straightforward apology. But clearly, he himself would acknowledge that he misspoke.
He's also saying he didn't say that at all.
He's not retracting.
But
he said I didn't say it.
No, you said he's retracted.
But he didn't say it.
Kojo, how can you retract what you didn't say?
Not my words.
So clearly, if the gentleman told you that he has retracted, it means he's retracting what he said. Because it will be, you can't retract zero. You can't retract what you haven't said. If I did a retraction on this discussion, I'm retracting what I said. If I didn't say something, how can I retract it? So clearly, he himself, and I would have wished that he just had gone ahead and done a straightforward apology. Amen. Sometimes...
Do we have that clip? I mean, if we can play back what he said and when he retracted it. Jojo, let's see if we can find that clip and play
because
it
you see,
for context.
If what you said would give rise to a certain impression, and that is not what you meant. I mean, there's no harm in coming out to say, yes, I said this. I didn't mean it, but I've seen that it's been interpreted as inciting or whatever. And, that's not my intention, and I retracted, I apologize. There's nothing wrong with it, Because anything that can be interpreted as encouraging Galamsey should not be accepted. There's no debate about the destruction that Galamsey is doing to this country. There's no debate. We've gone past that. And in fact, when you look at the last two governments, both leaders made a tremendous effort to fight this canker. I mean, President Mahama, we all remember what he did. He formed a ministerial task force headed by the Minister for Mines and put the soldiers at their disposal for 4 years. The results were mixed. When the new government came, or the current government came, they decided to reinforce the fight. In fact, the president made some very bold statements and said that he was going to put his presidency on the line, and if it was going to cost him the next election, he felt that this was something that the country needed. And he literally replicated what his predecessor had done. He also formed a ministerial committee to oversee the fight, and he also put the army at their disposal. After the first term, there were mixed results, and in the second term, in the continuation, we all remember the president even saying that because in the first term there had been controversies about the earth-moving equipment, particularly the excavators. There have been some controversies. So
we still haven't found.
So in the second term, we all remember the president saying that earth-moving equipment found at Galamsey site should be destroyed on site. And people even thought that the president was being too drastic and so on. So
or
clearly
unlawful.
Well,
destroying evidence.
People. So clearly, the president, nobody tested it at law. So we can't bring in the law at the moment. But people thought that he was being too drastic. But that shows you the commitment that our leaders have had in the fight against Galamsey, both President Mahama and President Akufo-Addo. But from the evidence that we see, there has been some improvement. We should admit that.
Where, Nana?
Look, in my hometown, it's a nice little town called Insutem. You know where Linda Door is? That is my hometown. In the days of Galamsey, I mean, when at the height of it, the main road of the town, you would, in the evening after 5, you would see excavators. You would think it was a showroom. 50, 60 excavators parked by the roadside of the main road of the town. And you couldn't get accommodation in the village because a lot of young men had come to do Galamsey. Now, if you went to my village, you wouldn't find one excavator, and I'm sure it's been replicated in several places. In the
Are you sure,
But
though, Nana? I mean, I want us to establish this point of improvement that you're suggesting. Because on that same road, that same Kumasi road, Erastus Asaridonko reported to us on Monday that now someone is mining right there on the roadside, same place where
I'm
these
coming to
excavators
that.
used to be
I
parked.
have said that as far as Mine Town is concerned, there has been some improvement.
But have you seen the water bodies?
But I haven't said that nationwide, generally, the fight has been a success. And I was going to say that led by the good work, Joy FM and Erastus and so on, the work that you have done is so clear that the fight is far from being won, and we have to look at new ways of fighting it. The commitment is there, the effort has been made, the results are not satisfactory as we speak.
Nana, is a commitment that some people question. Because as the president says in one breath that he's putting his presidency on the line, and by saying that, what he meant was he doesn't care if he loses votes.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't care if he loses. He's not going to use this illegality to gain popularity. That's what he meant. Then you see people who wish to represent your party in parliament say the direct opposite. Say that, look, beat them up when they come to fight Galamsey. And it's not just them. You've heard other people make similar comments to small groups of miners, telling them, we're behind you, we're backing you. The chairman of your party in a particular region has been caught on camera mining illegally. His company has been caught on camera mining illegally.
At where?
In, what's the name of the forest reserve? In fact, the ministry wrote to him to tell him to stop.
Okay.
So it's established. Even the government is aware that he was mining illegally in that forest. He was supposed to be prospecting.
Yeah.
He was mining. Then when they were asked to go and investigate, they went to burn the site. Again, this burning thing. So Nana, even though the president was clear when he said what he said, it's clear that the rest of the party is not living up to his words, because they are still using it as a crutch to gain popularity among these communities.
Yes, but you will not deny the commitment.
It's the commitment we're questioning.
Look, you people are committed to balanced reporting, unbiased reporting, fearless journalism. So if there's a slip somewhere by some reporter, it doesn't take away from your general commitment to the principle. And I've said that at some point, we even thought that the president was being too drastic. So we agree that the efforts, and not just President Akufo-Addo. In fact, President Akufo-Addo is doing literally the same thing that President Mahama did. Ministerial task force, that means a certain high level of supervision, and also putting the army, So the effort has been done. The commitment is there. The results have not been satisfactory. What it means is that we must be looking, and these statements that are made by politicians, we all agree that the gentleman misspoke. It's not just him. Look, and you have brought it into my mind. I wasn't going to bother myself with it. But you remember NDC top officials actually going to Galamsey sites and meeting with people engaged in Galamsey live and telling them, look, you people, there's some backlash against you. If you vote for us, we would come and support you. And this gentleman that I have brought, he's the person who's going to be appointed to head the office that will give out lands for Galamsey. That's why I have brought him here to see you people. And when you vote for us, this is the man who will give you the land so you can continue your work. In the middle of the Galamsey activity, you've had President Mahama himself in the campaign in 2020 telling people that if they voted for him, those people who have been prosecuted and jailed for Galamsey, he would release them. He would give them amnesty, because some Chinese people were repatriated, as if repatriation is not punishment, but they were repatriated. So, I mean, it's like saying that somebody who came and stole your car will be freed because somebody else has stolen bigger money. I don't understand it. But that's what President Mahama told people. That if you vote for me, I'm coming to free them, and I'm going because I believe they have regretted, and So
did you not have a point though that bigger fish were going scot free?
So you go after the bigger fish. You don't tell them that when I come, because you are small fish, I'll release you. I mean, I've never heard that logic before. But let's put it aside. We must look forward. I mean, I have said to you that this is the effort President Mahama did. He set up a ministerial team. He put the army at their disposal, and yet you find him out of power, telling people that when I come, I will free you. I mean, what encouragement do you need? So looking forward, we should all come around the table and think through. If there is a national conference or multi-party, multi-stakeholder, to think through, review what has been done, identify the difficulties that have not allowed us to see the results that we want, I'll be very, very happy. For example, this business about giving licenses to mine in a forest reserve, I have never understood it, because the very word of a reserve means it is reserved, unless we don't understand the language.
We are reclassifying them so that people can mine.
And when you classify a place, you set up a forest reserve. The people who own the land, they can't go in and farm cassava. They cannot. It's a reserve. They have other places they can farm. It's a reserve. They cannot go in there and farm cassava. So how do you have a provision that allows people to go and mine? I don't understand. So those are things that we can look at quickly. Now, my last point is that, when responsibility is diffused, it is difficult to get results. But when responsibility is determined, Kojo Yankson, you are responsible to provide chocolates to the studio every morning. So if there's no chocolates in the morning, we go and hold Kojo Yankson. That's all. Simple. In the fight against Galamsey, it doesn't look like the responsibility is specified. In this country, every square meter of land comes under the purview of a district. So, because every square meter of land comes under the purview of a district, it means it comes under the purview of a district security architecture headed by a district chief executive. So, looking forward, if we say, for example, that the DCE or the MCE will be held responsible if Galamsey activity takes place in their district, then the responsibility is fairly situated and there will be no excuse. So Joy FM has found, when you're talking about something, I was asking where. There are political authorities there headed by the district chief executive. There's a security headed by, and so going forward, if we can have some of this tactics, I believe we can do. I mean, just ban this in the exploration at all in the forest reserve, try and situate there. But my conclusion is that we've done a lot of work across regimes in fighting Galamsey. The results have not been as we want. You can't get a different result if you continue doing things the same way. We must be looking forward, because we cannot give up the fight against Galamsey.